Hello, this is Amelia, and I'm going to continue reading a little bit of my novella, Almost Seven. What is it? The cover. It's written from my voice as a child, and I would like to make it available again soon, along with the 73, which comes after it. It was after the lady's proclamation of Jesus, Jesus, and my witty answer of saves, saves, that I was to learn something I would forever try to unteach myself. My bravery did not succumb to my father's tense shoulder. This made me stronger somehow. My only weakness was my weeping older brother. Children's stigmata reveals itself mostly in the eyes, with tears in place of blood. It has not much to do with God. It has everything to do with God. Adult stigmata is a mirage that lives. It is a living lie our God should not believe. Grabbing tight to my curls, my father whispers to lead with him quietly to the back of the church, which is never a good thing. His suit is gray and unforgiving. It rubs against me as he follows me down the aisle, tripping. The scratch of it is unworthy of such a place. I am stained glass. I am an angel. I am to be punished for laughing boldly into the face of God. I am to be punished because I do not feel I did any wrong. This is the kingdom of heaven. Every parent looks down at their hymnal, and the pastor has completely stopped speaking, especially about anything holy. Not one in the entire palace is in prayer, except for me. I am praying about my jelly shoes, how they roll and click down the stained wood past the exposed beams. As each adult finds a shadow to stare into, I look briefly at my father. He is now clutching my shoulder, as if he fears that I will run away. I think that if it lessens his grip, then I will fly, zoom, 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 over the crowd with my sparkled jelly shoes. The only eyes that I meet are those of children. Young toddlers with crayons and goo. They're the closest to prayer anyone has been all morning there. Then there are the 5-year-olds. They look at me as curious as the gem that I am, and I reflect their crystal. I am pleased. I am the apple in the Garden of Eden. I ponder, telling my father this. My gaze meets my class. We, who are to be 7, soon. Each one is looking at me with wide, saucer eyes of terror. Slowly, I start to become afraid. I am not afraid of my father. I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid for them. The last pew holds all of the teen youth group and the associate pastor. There are 8 boys and 3 girls. The girls are shaking, though, as if it is suddenly quite cold because I am there. As if I am a ghost walking to become one of them. The teenage boys make quick, nervous eye contact. They all have on the same outfit. Sky blue, button-down shirt, khaki pants, polished shoes. They wear this because later they knock on doors to check for believers. My father stops at the last row. There are 3 people, including the pastor there. One is a beautiful boy with very dark shoulder-length hair. He has curls tight a lot like mine, except his eyes are hazel. I believe people with hazel eyes see heaven differently. Especially boys. Not boys like my brother, but messiahs. Teenagers. In between boy and God. Not yet crucified, not quite risen. His skin is dark olive. I recognize him from visits that he had made to our weekly class as I trudged the block and a half before temple in the coldest months, even when our words were written in air, and my brother and I blew out breath that mirrored that of Mama and Daddy with their firework sticks that sparkled just a little bit. Even in that cold to class, we walked block and a half when frozen lips made Mama fingerprints paint thumbkin mittens and not smitten to the stick, but still a miracle. Probably another Jesus trick. Their short, curtsy combo spiral smoke. I had to act annoyed because my brother did, and more people noticed when I appeared sad. Though I truly loved Sunday school. Dad had us walk because so many loved the preacher man. There was nowhere to park in our car named Big Red. It was red and big. But I always did dig a heel into any open line of grass, not yet accessed by not Big Red, pointing out to no one that appeared to hear my point. We could have it. I did do this, but still, when huge, heavy as a Bible doors opened, I inhaled the smell of sun and day, and never, ever forget the rush of that sweet, warm, scented embrace. I knew this magic boy from class before sermon. He plays an acoustic guitar and sings very quiet songs to us. He sings like I make up things. He was magic, maybe even much as he was named Loved By, and I wanted right then to tell Magic Boy I am a matchstick girl and add to my memorized words those star-strung strums narrative in my head. But I kept instead, but first knew this new as almost Easter boy was beautiful. The first I noticed could be beautiful besides my family. The other boy could be his twin, only for paradox. He was slighter, bleached blonde hair, just brushing past maple syrup eyes. I was startled by the darkness of his eyes with the light, lovely hair. Startled, serene. Another sort of like me, Aphrodite, like peach in between, soul though speak, and wore the myths of my Greek. The depth of his eyes spoke something my beautiful, olive-curled Jesus boy did not. This blonde boy's eyes were quick and scared and nervous. Not only annoyed by the long pink wisp of pale blonde hair that fell onto his pink cheek, a rebel to the gel like me, slicked back, long, slave as slick black, shade. He didn't, 'cause he wasn't supposed to see. We have wild hair, mirror spirit. Many mistake us for tango when we are braid, and not ever tame, but free. This in-between boy was closer to crucifix, I could tell, because of his hands, drip-drop shakes, tin taps of rain. Anxiety, I could see. My hands also did the same, at almost 7. But not quite, and I had promised to the beads on the nail that would hang, I would skip straight to the imprints of my surprised water walking, solve save ballet feet. My noticed kind of boy, like my almost 7, but not quite, teenage between, he, the one who had played us all those soft songs, his eyes revealed only my inkblot teal caught, not caged, in those hazel heavens, except for a bit of hesitation. Instead, I, almost 7 but not yet, did not notice anything but mirrors of me. Beautiful now, and as graceful in my razzle-dazzle tap 3, not for home feet. In his iris was the everything, nothing, so many, something. His eyes, mirror, mirror. Reflections of heaven, mattered not if it was the hazel that turned me to crystal prisms. These were windows, clearly, perfectly, complicated, simple, stained glass. I would have told him this if he had asked, but asked not, so I told soul, which is him, and all in me, and we. I think the tiny gap in our teeth and that place in their mouths between I was 7 kept my lips dripped with prayer, and not seeing instead, inside his holy hazel stare, blinks that those thrones did dare not tear speak, did not scold my wanderlust mind, but wander eternal instead, evolved to realize heavy angelkin. Curled twin named Kid. I kept pretty pink puckered purse like praying, but really a ponderless, sweet and sour candy tart. Very much barely sprung my twig trees, unlike him, all bronzed hair, curled leaves. Still led a little lamb, then asked why my babe lips curled naturally into pucker sip kiss. Mouth dresses now for purpose, but this was way longer than 17 episodes of What You Talking About, Willis times. Never cursed TV. My brother taught me endless vision, structure, straight shapes. The TV show showed me time and got me linear again. Time I knew was make-believe, but not my first sound poem, cluttered pout. The pink half-moon slouch just kept me from seeing his wholeness and holy iris betray bold bravado, and not know sweet Jesus could be sarcastic, that he held back his new song to protect me from what? He had hid inside tears, hide without seeking, seek sleep not out but bleating, not scratchy, tag outside in, inside out, in between, as they do them in between teens. No, my bold beauty did keep my dignity, hazel. Pout protect me still as womb, then, from the truth that he, my new discovery, not a fossil, but something worth more than even did I know, sore bone, arrowhead stone more, losser, my light little lullaby hum lips, pastel pink to pout, so as not to think or see that he, today my Messiah, with which I found each new day, they aren't lost, they're just displaced. My spirit dream wakes to rise wise, and it kept me from one truth. The truth that is not always real or right, but true, right then. Truth bled backwards in him, told tale that he was crying.